What's up, y'all? It's your girl T Savage, and I'm at Ground 3 Radio, and you already know I'm rocking with Mike on the mic.
Yo, what it do, family? It's your favorite host, Mike on the mic from the Vibe Perspective Podcast. Tapped in with my guys at Ground 3 Radio. DJ OK, we back at it again for another Wednesday and another series of interviews. Man, shout out to all my listeners tonight. Make sure you tune in and take the time to like, comment, and subscribe. And share this video, man. We work hard on these videos, man. The whole team works hard. You already know the vibes, man. We here, man. The whole team is thanking y'all for all y'all support. And be sure to call in that 443-377-1872. Again, that number is 443-377-1872. We got an incredible guest in the building with us. An incredible act, an incredible spitter, an incredible mother, and overall, an incredible person. Man, Big Savage, not the little one, man. Stop playing, man. T Savage is in the building. What up, sis?
What's up with you?
Ain't shit. You know, I'm having a good time with this. And I'm glad to have you here, finally.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm proud of everything you're doing.
Absolutely. Proud of you, too. Back to you, you know what I'm saying? To my listeners who want to learn more about some of the work and some of the things she got going on, go to @TSavage1 on IG. That is TSAVAGETHE, the number one, on IG as we go through the interview so you can match the work to the woman herself, man. We made this happen. I'm so glad you're here. We got a lot to talk about. We definitely got a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? You got an illustrious career. And like I said before we aired, you know, this isn't a regular podcast. This isn't a regular radio show. I try to pride myself on being different in the entire field in Baltimore City. And I want to make sure that we doing like a mini docuseries on your life, on your career. You know, and that's what I pride myself on, doing that research. So I want to start from the beginning. Like I do everybody, you know what I'm saying, because I respect you and I got to start from the beginning of origins. Over West, you know what I'm saying, from the village on 29, you know what I mean? Tell me about that upbringing and, you know, even your process of becoming an artist at an early age. I think it was like eight years old, right? So tell me about that story.
Wow. Yeah, I grew up in the village. Like, and when I say I grew up in the village, I grew up everywhere in the village. Like, from Augusta to Uplands to Seminole, like, everywhere. But when I was 8 and I really started writing, it just was I was going through a lot of shit. Even though I was 8, like my mother and my father was hustling, they was in the streets, and that was really like my only outlet. Cause it's like when you black and you young, you know your mother set them rules like, look, we'll go on in my house, stay on in my house.
That's
so,
facts.
And then it's like, my mother and my father, they play by a different set of rules. It's like when you choose to be in the streets, it ain't the shade room or like, you know, the comments and shit. You know how people like, you know how people be like, something happen, like a crime, a murder, whatever, anything will happen.
Sure.
And I'm not glorifying none of that shit, but I'm just saying like, certain stuff will happen. And today, now that it's Instagram and social media, people can write a comment and they'll write like how they feel or what they believe. But I be like, you know, that don't matter because you play by a different set of rules.
Right.
When you choose to say, like, hey, I'm going to do right and I'm going to be a civilian, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to deal in it, you choosing to play by the right set of rules. Yeah. And when you say, hey, I want to be in the streets and I'm going to be in the game or I'm going to, you know, do whatever, you play by a different set of rules. So it's like, you know, that's the type of stuff as a kid you can't really let out. But as a kid, it was like all that type of stuff kind of affected me. Like, I had my parents and I knew my parents loved me, but when you're in the streets, it's like, that's what comes first.
Yeah.
Because, like, we got to eat.
Right. Yeah.
so it's like, I love you, but I don't want you to starve.
Right.
And, like, both of my parents came from situations that was probably once good, and then it went the worst. And then they, at a young age, they had to be the one to save it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, and I think that's important, too, because, like, creating this landscape for the viewers and the listeners to hear and know where a lot of this energy comes from in your music, where a lot of the things you've learned up, you know, through your life comes through your parents. You know, I think you had mentioned something along the lines of like your mom, like singing like "Give Me the Loot," like, you know, when you was younger, and like that big influence and that love for Biggie early on. You know, and I think that a lot of times, like if you're in that, you know, you hustling, you know, you're doing your thing, like Biggie speak for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's sort of a voice before you even know how to put things together. And that's crazy you got that influence early. I want to, you know, start to piece together your musical influences, because along with Biggie, like, you know, Nas, you know, like a lot of people that you were, you know, listening to and getting influenced by. Tell us about that early on and, you know, what that was like for you.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of my musical influence come from my mother and my father. Like,
yeah,
my mother and my father like was probably like my mother was probably about to be 16, and I think my father was probably like just turning 18. So they was all like 2 years apart.
Yeah,
and they was in the streets. So everything that was touching the streets, that's what they was listening to. So it'd be like, I was a kid singing Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
I was a kid singing like Biggie full, like straight out, like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love Lil' Kim, like to the point. I got a cousin who couldn't listen to that because her parents was in church.
Yeah.
And she was older than me. She used to take me to the playground and make me rap the songs to her, like so she could hear what it was. Because the only time she would hear it was when she was in the car with my mother, and it was like my mother always like had Benzes, like she always like drove like nice cars, and they always was silver. But
it's fire.
The music that she'd be playing, like man, she'd be in there going off. Like I was going to I remember like. I was going to high school and she used to be bumping NWA. Yo, and I liked it like when I was listening to it because they was really saying some shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, can you please drop me off on the corner? Like, either turn it down or drop me off on the corner. But my mother and my father, like, I think I like don't be wanting to say like I have favorites because like when it comes to the greats, it's so many of them. Like I can like just listen to a lot of different stuff that people like would never think that I listen to. But yeah, like it's definitely like Biggie and Kim, but I like I like Fab. I love Fab. I love Fab. I love Jeezy. I love Boosie. I love AZ.
Yeah. Thanks to your dad, right? Like he was listening to AZ, Jay-Z.
And then like even like growing up in the 90s, the 90s is so hard, like so hard. I love that I was born in the 90s. Like,
same, facts, God. Yeah.
So
facts.
I remember like when tapes used to come out. And the songs would play at the end of the tapes. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes you could hear the whole soundtrack, like Minister Society. If you got the real tape, like it was hella videos that played before and played after it.
Yeah.
And I remember I was probably like I was real little when that came out.
Yeah.
But to this day I still will listen to MC8 because I thought he was so fucking hard. Like, and if y'all don't know who MC8 is,
do your
like,
research, man.
Yeah, do your research. But,
if you know, you know.
Yeah, like it's kind of like all over the place. Like I listen to anything like if it's good.
Yeah.
But the greats and stuff, it's like I can't like. Son, you could get in my car. I'm still gonna bump the Hot Boys, Wayne, Juvie, BG, fucking.
You loved Eve's first album too, right?
I loved Eve. I loved DMX. So I didn't.
Your catalog is extensive.
I love DMX. I love Missy. Yeah. Oh my God, I think like Missy is just. I could listen to Missy at any time because she got something for like everything. Like
Definitely.
And then just growing up in the 90s, like, and then when it comes to R&B, it's definitely all 90s. Like Total, all of that. Like Total is the crazy thing is I know like everybody else got their favorite. Total is like one of my favorite groups. But I don't know, like I can't speak directly on my favorites, but that genre and era of like that 90s music, 2000s, like a lot of those artists, like
definitely
the hard ones, the ones that like really made their mark. Yeah, those are my ones.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that speaks a lot to like, you know, like I said, your influences. Like if you have an extensive catalog, you got an extensive like group of music that you like, you get to be more versatile when it comes to your records. It becomes, you know, easier. I'm not even say easier, but I should say your taste level for music becomes higher because now you got like the golden era of music, specifically hip hop, R&B, neo soul, like that whole genre, that whole mix, and you can piece your career together in terms of music better, I think. And glad to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And we keep going sort of towards your high school career. I think you went to ACCE. You know, and tell us about like coming up in high school and then, being like, like going up through, like high school is tough. You know what I'm saying? Like high school is a journey. Like you learning yourself, you learning about the world around you, how they see you, how they perceive you, like that's a whole journey. So tell us about that coming up.
The crazy thing is high school, when Ace first started, we was the first class.
Yeah.
So when I first started there, we was in the building with Samuel Banks. And I don't know what it's called now because they didn't probably change the name so many times.
Yeah, Baltimore.
But man, what? But when I first got there, like I think I was probably like, it wasn't that many people from over west that went to Ace, and I think like when I first got there, I got into it with like whoever like was like the fighter,
the ones
up in Banks. It was just like, we the new kids in the new school, but I can't let you bitch me.
Yeah, right. That's like, a fact. That's a fact.
I don't know, like
that's a fact.
And then, like sometimes, like when you check one motherfucker, you gotta check everybody else. Like, and all the rest of y'all got to be bitches too, because who the
you
fuck
behind her?
Like, bitch, like, and this was back like when. Like, that's why, like, now I hate getting online and saying that bully and shit like that. Because
yeah.
That was a lot of reasons I get in and shit. Like, if you fuck with somebody I fucked with, you gonna fuck you up. Like, straight up. But, I was good in school, though. Like, when it came to that work, you couldn't fuck with me on that. Like, at all. Like, my number one problem, like, I think I got to, like, 11th grade, and I got a teacher that was like, I had an A in his class. And, I got my progress report card and it was like I had a C. I'm like, Mr. Jones, why got a C? And he told me, he was like, I smacked somebody in his class one day.
Hey, yo.
So I'm like, how the fuck did something not, like, so I'm getting mad.
Hey, yo.
I'm trying to get my little evidence together. I'm taking my notebook out.
Right.
Everything I got, straight A's. He like, the way you act in class, that's gonna affect your grade. And I'm just in the mindset thinking like, son, I'm about to fuck you up. And it's crazy because this was a teacher that was like, that's what the fuck you think.
Yeah, right.
Like,
right,
he was with it, though. Right. But I wanted him to know, too, I'm with it, too.
We all with it. We all with it.
And it was like, all my classmates, they was all with me. We all started out together. And it was like, when we started there, because we had to go so hard against that other school, that shit made us, like, tighter.
Yeah.
Straight, like, some of them to this day, I still talk to them, like, all the time. So then, like, once they start having shit in school, like talent shows and shit like that, I always would be the one that'll get in there and rap. And they'd be like, yo, like from high school. I remember when I first got to college, my music teacher told me, I went to Grambling State. My music teacher told me, he said, I know you like coming here, but you ain't supposed to be here. You gonna be a star. Straight up. My speech teacher told me that just off of how I talk and stuff. He was like, you got a whole melody, just how you speak, how you talk. He was like, you gonna be bigger than like anything you probably ever think you'll be. And I would be like, can I get this paid on
God?
Like,
on God.
That's it. But yeah, high school, a lot of them, like, to this day I still fuck with, rock with, hit up. And then it's like when I was in high school, my father got killed.
Yeah, Halloween, right?
Man, my father got killed. And my whole, like, when my father's funeral happened, my whole school came to my father's funeral.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like, everybody, like, the teachers, students. I remember I seen my principal in the back. I'm like, who is at school? Because, like, majority of my whole grade that I was in, like, they came and they showed up for me. I just remember, like, so to this day, like, a lot of them, when I run into them, I still see them, I show them love, like, or we still talk on a regular basis. Matter of fact, the two I was just telling you before we started the interview, I'm on the phone with, like, we started out, what, 9th grade. And they been my dogs, like,
No, for sure. Yeah, I was definitely going to say, like, I think there was an article written about, like a lot of students that were in ACE, and it mentioned you. It mentioned, like, you losing your father, and, you're, like, holding his hand you know, as he's like slipping away. And I know it's a difficult subject to talk about. Condolences, by the way. Rest in peace. You know, but that's like something you don't hear often. That like your entire school rallied behind you. Your whole entire school like really lifted you up.
Son, cause I ain't gonna lie, like my father, he definitely was a street dude, but like my father, like people think when they say like if you that nigga that made some street shit. No, my father was that nigga just cause he was a good one. Like he was really a good dude. Like when my father died, I remember the older people saying like how much he just showed them respect or paid their bills or made the younger dudes take their trash out or you know ain't do nothing directly in front of their houses and stuff like that. Like my father just was a good dude. Like you never really heard about my father in a bunch of beefs or like he just wasn't really that type. My father was always like, you know, like I want to get money. Like getting money and beefing, that shit don't work. Like I can remember like stuff that he said to me and put in my head like word for word because he said that shit so many times. I feel like my father was training me for the day he was going to leave me for real. But when it came like to me at school, my father, like he could see that a lot of my friends ain't had the shit that I had. You feel me? Like even though they went home to their mothers and fathers, like high school dudes come up, that shit high. So I remember like one time my father was like, yo, tell me your friends that don't got it. And I'll pay that shit. And my friends that ain't got it, we all went on the trip. So it was just like my father was just that type. Like if he was coming to pick me up from school, he seen that they on the bus stop, that shit late. Oh, all right, I'm gonna take all y'all home. I mean, yo, I had a friend that lived out Aberdeen. Son, she was like, you know, you sometimes you gotta fuck with the addresses and shit, so you go to the school you want. Because at first she was going to school in the city, how people's move. Son, she was catching the coach bus from out Aberdeen to the city and then catching the bus to school. Just because she ain't want to leave the school that we was going to.
That's crazy.
So when my father was like, I'll take you home, she was like, no, I don't think you don't want to take me home. She like, I'll take you home. He drove her ass all the way out Aberdeen. Like
that's crazy.
That's just the type of father I had. Like that was my Doug. Like that was my best friend, and a lot of my friends like they could see it. I went through a lot of shit in high school with my father. Like I think I want to say like my first year of high school, I was running for president, and I lost because I couldn't get my speech because my father got shot. My father got kidnapped. Somebody was trying to kidnap him, and they shot him like 9 times. They shot him all in his face and everything. And right before I was about to go to lunch, my mother came. She ran in the school and was like, "Shit, somebody just shot your father." And my friends, like, they seen me like really go through that. Like when my mother, like, it was I don't know, like. I was going to the cafeteria, and as I was going through the cafeteria, she was shooting through the door. So all my friends was right there. They heard everything, and it was like they just kind of like saying like that shit just knocked all the wind out of me. And then like my mother, she always come up to school like either just happy or ready to knock my ass out because I was doing some bad ass shit. So it was like pride for them to even see my mother like that. And then right after that, my father called like a kingpin charge. They was offering my father like life plus 25. I'm in high school still, so my friends watching me go through that. I'm missing school because when niggas go to jail and shit, a lot of people that is your friend and your girl and they fall off when that time like
facts. When
them days start going. And I think my father went to trial for 18 months. They kept just doing fucked up shit. Postponing it, just doing a bunch of fucked up shit, and I ain't never miss a day. I don't give a fuck if I had to catch the bus, whatever. I never missed a day of that trial. Like no matter who didn't come, even if they told me the lawyer called me and say, "Hey, Tashir, they gonna postpone it." I'd be like, is my father gonna be in the courtroom? Like, is he gonna be in the courtroom? If he gonna be in the courtroom when he turn around, I'm gonna be right there.
Facts.
And that was just every time. So it'd be like, I even had homegirls that'd be like, sis, I'll go with you today. And sat in the back with me. Like, So a lot of my friends from school that I still fuck with is just they watch me like go through hella shit, and some of them like people. That's why I hate when certain people say shit like, "Oh, motherfuckers be on your dick." No, they not on my dick. They know what the fuck I came from.
Yeah.
They know like my homegirl. She said, "Yo, I want you to win so bad because I feel like don't nobody deserve it more than you." She like, "Yo, I don't know how the fuck you like okay and be still like." Some of my friends, like, the shit that they tell me they even pray for me, or, like, just the shit that they say to me when they see, like, the shit that I'm doing and the shit that the way I'm moving, it just because they was there when it was all really falling apart, like, when I was losing everything. So it was like, as all that shit was going on in high school, boom, my father's case ended up getting thrown out because they had a warrant, but they didn't do the knocking in them. Son. When I tell you that day was like one of the best days of my life. Like, I think I stayed in court. I got there probably 8 in the morning. We ain't leave till the afternoon. We was the last people to leave out the courthouse. I remember my father said, if I don't gotta go back to jail, man, fuck all that shit there. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But they was like, no, you gotta go back, blah, 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 blah. So my father came home in, even March. By October, my friends watched me bury my father. So it was like they watched me go through
the
all
whole
of that
process,
shit, back to back. And it was like, that was only, high school, 4 years?
Yeah.
I've been going through that shit all my life. So it just was like, right then and there, it was real. And a lot of my friends, they just ain't never know how real it was for me. And then sometimes you'll have people that went to my school that was from over west. And they'll be in school and tell my business. Like, I ain't want everybody to know my mother, like what my mother did. Like what my father did.
Right, yeah.
So, then it was like, once my friends seen, like, damn, she missing school to go to her father trial, all this, this, and third. That shit just made it more real. But my friends from that shit, my teachers from that shit, like, I got teachers from high school still follow me on Instagram, hit me up. Like, whatever. Like, if I was to call them and tell them I needed them right now, they'd come through. Like,
yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, so my high school experience, it was cool. It was definitely cool, but yeah, all that pain right there, that's why I was in them talent shows busting their ass.
No, for sure. For sure. You actually, if I'm not mistaken, you had a song called Dad that was, like, dedicated to your father and sort of piecing together, like, how you felt after he left, you know.
I hate it, though.
You do?
I hate this song just because I made it when I first started.
Yeah.
So it was just like small shit like I really want to redo. Like I really want to.
Yeah.
I'm all about like when I'm rapping, I be needing my tone to be a certain way.
Right.
Sometimes like I need to make sure my energy sound a certain way. Like just everything got to sound a certain way when you're making a record.
For sure.
And you know like when you first start making a record, you just automatically like, yeah, I'm hard.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But,
right.
You know, you gotta do a little. You gotta fix that shit up.
Right. No, that's a fact. I mean, I think you started to piece these things together, right? Like you started to like, you know, understand your career. You started to understand your voice. You started to understand your style, you know, coming through the music. Like I think there was like a core DJ convention in Atlanta you performed at. You know, I think that was like 2018. And like we started to like, you know, move up. Like I think it was like the F You Hater, all about the Benjamins joint you did. I think it was called F You Hater. That was like, that started, you know, I want to always go back through the catalog. I want to try to get like as far back of a listen as I can of an artist before, and then try to get all the music up till now to see that progression. And I could tell that like, you know, you was still finding some things, you know, in your craft, but you still had a lot of talent at that time. You know, I know that's difficult to try to hone a lot of that talent into like something focused, you know, when you're naturally talented. Tell me about finding your style early on and understanding, you know, that tonality you was talking about and how to get that energy correct. Like, what was some of the lessons you learned early on?
So, I really want to say I really found my style, like, of how... Okay, so when I say find my style, I always knew like how I wanted to rap. You know, like I always wanted to be hard. Catchy is cool, and I'm cool with that on the hook and shit like that. But I love bars. Like I love that. Like I like talk that shit. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love that rough shit. Like all of. I like the threats. Like all that. Like put it. Yeah. Like that's my type.
Yeah.
But when I moved to LA, I started being around people that had done more than me.
Yeah. It was around 2018, right?
Yeah, this was 2018.
2018, right?
So before that, I was working with somebody else before I moved to LA, and I feel like they were trying to probably mold me into who they wanted me to be, or just trying to give me that. Let me show you what a star is and what a star does.
Sure.
Blah, blah, blah. Sidebar, I had to just realize, like, bitch, I'm already a star.
Facts.
They just gotta see it.
Facts.
Like, I ain't gotta change shit about me. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
And yeah, like either you gonna fuck with me or you ain't, and that's just how I had to carry myself so I could be comfortable with myself. Because when you get in this music shit, if you let them change you, it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
And I already come from fucked up, so I can't get fucked up no more. So. Boom, once I go to LA and I start listening to different producers and I start listening to the shit that they didn't think that I would want to be on. And every time I would meet up with a different producer, they would say some shit like, what lane you trying to be in? What audience are you trying to grab?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want the bitch that strip and the bitch that deliver mail.
Yeah.
Like, I want the deadbeat nigga and the nigga that take care of his kids.
Facts.
I can't help that you a deadbeat. Like, you ain't got shit to do.
But
I mean, fuck, as far as fucking with my music, like...
Yeah, right.
I want the young bitches to your grandmother to fuck with it.
100%, yeah.
So, that's why even now, to this day, you'll see me jump on Return of the Mac beat.
Yep.
Or whatever, like... I didn't fucking... Even the Dad song that you did was a remake of Cheryl Lynn Encore.
Yep.
So that just being out there, it just kind of showed me like I don't want to be boxed in. Like I don't get me wrong, I love when people say that I'm a artist from Baltimore, but I ain't really like a big fan of that. Oh, I'm your favorite Baltimore artist, or
yeah.
Like the shit I'm trying to do. When I be trying to get niggas on here to do it, or be on it. It's either you hesitant or you want to stick with your same style. But the thing is, I don't just want the city.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I want records.
100%.
Like, I want records. Like, I got a bigger dream. So it just be like, oh, all right, cool. I'm going to do my own thing. You feel me?
That's 100%.
Like, and then when y'all fuck with me, we can fuck with each other. Like, I'm never even on it. Like, I think I'm even past that. Like, oh, once I get big, blah, 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 because it just be like, you just gonna have a bunch of big-headed motherfuckers in the city then who don't know, nobody really want to help nobody because niggas want for revenge on some clown shit.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and I ain't down to make new people, especially new female artists that's coming out of the city, ever feel like you on an outs with me because you ain't, you feel me? Like,
yeah.
I'm solidified in my shit and I know that I'm nice.
Yeah.
So I ain't got no problem with walking with other females because they don't give us our shine in the city.
Yeah, that's
when from
fact.
The podcast interview people, radio interview, whatever. When they talk about the best rappers from the city, it's a dude every time.
Yep, Terka, Scola, Moose, Scooter.
And the thing is, they are
nice.
They are nice. But I be like, y'all don't fuck with the bitches?
Yeah, right. There's a lot of talent in the women.
It's a lot of nice females in the city. Like, I'll see, like, the crazy thing is, people really think that I'm heavy on Instagram, but I'm really not heavy on Instagram. I fucking hate Instagram. Like, I think it's the gayest shit ever. And I will, like, really, like, and I hate when, like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm on a mic so I can say this. I hate when y'all say shit like, you was in my views, though. Bitch, I will put my phone down and every story will run through. Please don't ever think that you that fucking special. Sometimes I don't see that shit.
Yeah.
Unless, like, I'm being nosy and I just want to come to your shit, or that day I had time to be on my stories every day, like, baby. Yeah, like, and then some shit times I don't got shit to say. Like, that's your bitch's problem. Now y'all talking too much. What the fuck y'all got all this shit to say?
No, for sure.
I mean, your close friends, you in there flipping fucking pancakes.
Hey, yo.
You showing me your fucking kids and your close friends. Just don't post the motherfuckers. Damn.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, so I'm not really... I ain't big on the gram and shit like that. So a lot of shit that they do and all that shit like that, I don't really be with that. But if I see the female artists, like when they pop up and all that, I look at they shit. If they hard, I fuck with it. I ain't got no problem with following you back.
Yeah.
I ain't really trying to follow all of my coochie and my titty bitches. Like, that ain't my thing. And I don't want to see that on my timeline.
Yeah.
But... yeah, like the bitches that's really spitting bars, I follow them back. I think they hard. Like
that becomes like that makes sense to me because like you're confident in your own talent. Like you don't get off put by somebody who also has talent, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can see that. Like I can see early records like the Rod Lee joint, the Hater record. Like I can see like the Baltimore record. Even that's like one of your joints. I mean, I got some newer ones that are much I think closer to the time than my favorite too. But Baltimore is also like one of the ones that will like stick with me forever, you know. And then to know the story, like you just mentioned, like like a lot of that thing you put in the video comes from real life experience, comes from your father, comes from like the experience you had coming up. Shout out to Gwen Hilton too. We got the video up right there. Like these records to me, even early on, this is like 2018, 2019. Like I can tell that like if you're that good, then by the time you get to 2024, you're not gonna be intimidated by somebody else who's nice, like because you're gonna be nice whether they're nice or not. Like it doesn't matter how good they are. I
feel like being from the city, like a lot of us here like really cocky and we ain't really stepped the way we supposed to yet. Yeah. Like the crazy thing is, I feel like a lot of times when performers come here, they don't get their best effort when they do the shows. I feel like if you look at performers on their tour list, Baltimore ain't never on it for real.
That's a fact.
So it's something like we gotta do. We can't like be on that type of shit forever.
That's a fact. Yeah, true.
So it's like I feel like we just got. It can't be like you can't have no competition when you're on the same team when you're supposed to be on the same team. So that's why like I think I said it one day on live, like I'm so tired of niggas saying like, y'all see them Atlanta niggas, we got you. No. Listen, son, check this out. Be us. Just be us. Yeah, because like if you really look at what the fuck you come from and you see what's around you, we come from one of the hardest cities in the world.
You can make it here, you can make
it anywhere. I say that shit all the time. Yeah. So my grandmother told me that James Brown said that because he had so many businesses here. And he always was just like, just to start a business here.
Yeah.
And make that shit work. If you can make it here, like Baltimore is different.
It's different. Yeah.
The love here different because it's hard to get, and the hate here different because it's just hard.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is.
That's a fact.
So it's just like, if you can make it here, you can make it any fucking where. If everybody had that same type of mindset, we'd be bigger than what we is. We don't gotta be no other city. We could be us because we already hard.
Yeah, that's a fact. You can do all these things. Like you can be a rapper. You can have your catering business, right? Like you can,
in music
do everything.
When I be meeting like so many big names in music, and I might find out who wrote the song or where the song got mixed and mastered,
right?
Or something. It be so many conversations, and I'll end up finding that out because all of that shit would be from Baltimore.
Exactly.
Oh, I know somebody from Baltimore. Nobody knows this person.
Right. That's a fact. Yeah.
Because niggas' biggest thing is to be like, once I make it, I gotta get the fuck up out of here.
Leave the city.
But it's like, yo, if nobody ever put back into it, why is the whole fucking city cool with this motherfucker crumbling?
It's crazy. It's much easier to leave. I think that tells you more about the people, right? Like the people who do that, like they just get everything they need and just dip. Like it tells you more like it's easier for them to give up when they think the house is burning, right? Like versus like stay here, cultivate the house, rebuild it up, like put effort into it, bring other people in, bring that team together, make it bigger, make it better, make it stronger. put the fire out. Like, I think that's a much more difficult job than to just leave a house as it's burning, because then you think it's a lost cause. You know, that tells you more about the individual themselves versus, like, and I always say, like, I don't think, then, you know, just like you mentioned, like, there's a lot of talent in the city. There's a lot of people who actually do want to stay in the city, and, you know, like yourself, who is like, you want to be bigger, you want to bring the city to new heights, but you don't want to just leave the city high and dry, right? Mm-hmm. Like, these people exist, and I think we just don't give them the platform they need to be seen,
right?
You know, because I think at a certain point, you know, we say this every year. We say this for like the last 3 years. I've been hearing like Baltimore's going to be up next soon. It's going to be there soon. We're going to be seen soon. It's going to be And I think it's going to be more difficult for us to be seen and be there if the mindset is just to dip, just to leave. Go to LA, go to Atlanta, go to wherever, you know what I mean, and just leave. You can network. You can do your thing. You can make some connections. But to just leave is just sort of, like I said, it's just giving up. And I would rather not. This is why I do what I do. You know, I want to give platforms to people who are still here, who are still grinding and putting on for the city. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, just like you mentioned earlier on, is like, you know, doing a good path, like staying on the right track. I think the record, The Day You Make It, like you did the video on Morgan's campus. I think the lights in the auditorium, you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, growing beyond your situation and becoming something great. You know what I'm saying? I think that speaks a testament to that, because it's like going to Morgan, like you here in the home team, you know, you building to bigger heights. You're getting education, you know, like, you know, not specifically, but, you know, just in general, the idea of that video.
I ain't gonna lie, yeah, that video, that whole video was about my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole video was about my mother. My mother coming home, finding my mother getting high, and my grandmother was getting evicted. I mean, my mother started hustling. My mother still went to school. The end part, me performing and shit like that, that was just because my mother believed in me more than me. Like, even when I down myself,
that's dope.
My mother, like, she believed in everything that I'm doing for real. Yeah, that video, I wanted that to tell a story. Like, I be wanting all my videos, like, to tell some type of story, especially on the songs that's deep.
For sure.
Like, the songs that's definitely deep. Like, I can't really say, like, I ever had a video that I wasn't full hands on. Like, nobody ever did a video and told me what to do.
Right, yeah.
Like, we might have freestyled some shit, but I always had my hand in everything that I did, just because I write these songs. So I see them.
100%.
It's like, as I'm writing it, I already, like, see what I want. So it'd be like, when I did Sick Days and I wanted the video in the church.
Yeah. The grand piano in Baltimore,
I'm like, everything, like, that should be just what I think about. Like, even when I just did the Out on a Limb. Nick TV, we've been rocking with each other, and he been shooting a lot of my videos right now. Like, a lot of this shit I've been putting out, content, everything.
You slid
I hit him and was like, huh?
You slid on that, by the way. I had to
I hit him and I'm like, yo, you feel like getting on the train?
Yeah,
and he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, you feel like getting on the train? Like, let's get on the train. But the crazy thing was, I had did a train video, like, probably when I had first came out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I need this shit to be, like, different. Like, I need it to be, like, you know, like, I'm bigger now. Yeah,
big Maryland umbrella coming down the escalator.
And I'm not even gonna lie, that shit just, God be like, God be blessing all the trap niggas. That's all. God be blessing all the trap niggas, because when I tell you, my daughter was with me when I was shooting. My daughter and my sister.
Yeah.
And that was my daughter umbrella. Just so happened, as I crossed the street, the bus was nowhere near us, but this fucking man started holding up traffic because he was trying to ask me if I wanted a hack. And I'm looking like, nigga, it don't even look like I belong getting on a fucking train, let alone
a hack.
Do I want a fucking hack?
That is hilarious.
When I fucking tell you, I'm just sitting there looking like, No. But anyway, so I'm trying to keep telling him like, can you? Because as I'm trying to cross that scene in the beginning where I'm crossing the street.
Yeah.
If you if you look at it very slow, I'm kind of smiling, and I'm smiling because I'm laughing because he's recording and the man would not move. Like he probably had just moved out the fucking way. Like he just moved. So if you ever watch it, you see like the little smirk.
That's because this dude.
That's not on no sexy shit. This nigga not listening. Like he not listening at all. Yo. Like, but that video, it was so fun to shoot, like, cause it was just so Baltimore, like everything that was fucking happening. Like then the umbrella end up matching the buses coming by.
Yeah.
We get on the fucking train. This fucking man, he a booster, yo. When I tell you, I got to find him, okay? I'm dead serious.
Had the Dove soap, had the socks, had the white.
I don't know if we gotta start catching the train to find the good boosters.
They undetectable on the train, man. I tell you.
Son, he had all the North Faces.
Hey, yo.
All the North Faces.
That's crazy.
The long ones, the short ones, all that. I'm like, you don't got Apple Pay?
Hey, yo.
He's like, I don't got a phone.
Yeah.
You need to go boost that. But
boost the bank account.
It's just like all of that was happening. I'm just sitting there like, yo, I really love my city. I swear to God, like I love my city. Nothing like it. Nothing like it at all.
No, for sure.
Yeah, it was probably like, but I think that was my first video of the year. My first video of the year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like you said, like, it's a lot of city, man. I mean, like, you've had club tracks, like, you met Black Star, you know, y'all started collabing really heavy, you know. I think y'all still pretty close now to this day, you know, and even that Rider Girl joint, like, the Hater Black Star remix, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've shown your versatility over club records, too, because that is, like you said, well, like I mentioned, uniquely Baltimore, you know, and I think I loved hearing. I think that's one more thing that I think I need more Baltimore artists to do to like really like use our culture. Because I think so many people use the Atlanta trap beat, so they use like the drill joints from New York or Chicago or whatever, like that same kind of style of music. But it's like we got so much musical culture in the city that I want to hear more club records from artists. I want to hear more like house music joints from artists because we really originated that.
The crazy thing is, it's like when I first came out, I feel like hated that whole beat, that whole, and the bass, everything in it. It gave you that house music feel, that kind of club feel. So it was like, then once Black Star did his thing with it, once we redid Rider Girl, then now Jersey Club get hot.
It's insane.
Philly Club get hot.
It's insane.
So now it's like, I hear people that want to jump on it now, but it's like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of in the like, I already did that.
Yeah, facts. You was ahead of the party.
I already did that. Yeah. Like I came out swinging with it. So
working with Raw Lead, I
don't know, I mean, but regardless, I'm always still like pay homage to it, just because. Of course. At the end of the day, I love, like when I say I love K Swift.
Yeah.
Like I definitely thought that, like, growing up in the city, you just thought like yo, when I used to see her at fucking Shake and Bake and she would just be fucking it up, like I just thought she was hard as shit. Fire. When we got old enough to go down Hammer Jacks and she would be in the middle of the floor fucking it up.
Going crazy.
I just always just thought she was just like hard as shit, and then it was like, I tell you all the time, I started working at DTLR. Yeah. And that's when I met her outside of her and Reggie Reg yelling at us like up the street on Pittsburgh Avenue. Like when they was yelling at us like, your asses better not be fighting in here tonight.
Oh God.
Or we gonna call y'all mothers when they come up here. But no, like I love Swift, and I feel like if she wouldn't have died, she would have did something big for the city. Like 100%. It was already happening. Like facts. I remember that Sway interview when they interviewed her and she came around. That's why I'd be like, how is it even an argument about who this club music shit belonged to?
It's one person.
But like I always like at first like that was why I wanted to do Hater on that type of beat, and then I might say even when I just did the Quicksilver freestyle. Shit, I did
crazy by the way, crazy.
Thank you. I did the that was the Paula Campbell and Tim Trees. How does it feel? So it was like I mean, it's like I did that.
Yeah,
that ain't gonna forever be my lane though. Like you know, I
yeah.
know a lot of the DJs send me them beats.
Yeah.
I'ma rip them.
I go crazy.
Send me that shit. I'ma rip it. But I'm not trying to be in no lane. Like I remember I just hit a producer up, and she was like, "Yo, I got this like pack. It's kind of like some Chris Brown type shit." I'm like, "Send it to me." She like, "You for real?" I'm like, "Yeah." I already ripped one. Send it back to her. She like, "Yo." She was like, "I'm gonna just send you a bunch of different shit that I got in a bunch of different folders."
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in a lane. Like I just don't like. You know how people say you gotta accept shit for what it is. I gotta accept that I'm all over the place and I'm cool with that.
Versatile, yeah.
Like I need my like. When I was in LA, I was so happy to get cool with the producers from Long Beach. And the producers that was from Oakland and be able to hear those type of sounds. Like I remember, I tell people all the time when I came out with Westside, I hummed it first. I hadn't heard that, and Dawn was like, "All right, I got you."
Yeah, shout out
and
Dawn
figured it out. I literally came in there and was like, "I want the song to be like." And I said, "I've been getting to that money with them West Side niggas." Yeah. But I was like, I want the beat to be like, and I was in there like,
You're not just a creative director on the music videos. You also in the studio making your own sounds.
Yo, and Don could not stop laughing. So he was like,
I gotta get Don Trunk up here, man. Shout out Don Trunk.
He was like, "Say it again, T," and I did it again. And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna have a beat together." And I was like, "All right," and I went to sleep in the studio, and then I woke up and the beat was basically almost there. And he was like, "All right, I just gotta do a little bit more shit." And I was like, "All right, we gonna work on some other shit."
Right.
And then I'm gonna come back the next day, and I came back the next day, and it was done. Like, I be saying that shit. So that's why I was just like, I can't be in the lane. Like my mind be all over the place. Like even like the freestyles, like the videos that I be doing of them freestyle skits and shit like that. Like the lineup that I got on my notepad and my phone is crazy. Like it's all over the place. Like I'm on the phone with my friends and I tell them like, "Yo, give me some like the other day I'm on the phone with them like, "Yo, give me some old school songs that you fuck with." Like
you ripped the Juicy freestyle.
Yeah.
Destroyed that. Smoked that.
Yeah.
You can play that right now and it'll be crazy.
I had
right
to
now.
because that was like that was big.
Yeah.
And I was just so pumped to be first like getting on that type of beat. I was so pumped to be getting on that beat, like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do this shit. Yeah. It's just like no, I can't even. But yeah, that's just like this shit in my notepad that I got ready, oh my God. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to shoot these visuals. Yeah. And to even just lay this shit down because the way that I'm trying to come this shit is just.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you did like Shade 4-5 like a few years ago too, like around like 2019.
I don't know.
I have that in my notes, which means that I've seen it.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, like to me, I'm like in 2019 to be able to be in that room in the vicinity of that. It's like
you're talking about K Slay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Insane.
Okay.
Insane. Rest in peace, by the way.
Yes. First off, right.
By the way,
when they told me, like, no disrespect at all to Shade 4-5, but when they told me that I was getting on there, all I heard was DJ K Slay. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else. Like, I didn't hear nothing else. I heard DJ K Slay.
Yeah.
And to be like a rapper like me, to be somebody who's really a spitter into the craft and shit, it's like I grew up listening to K Slay mixtapes.
Yeah.
I grew up. That was how I. Outside of Remy Ma battling, that was how I heard of her, like, as an artist. He was putting her freestyles on there.
Facts,
he was putting her records on there. She was hard as shit. Like,
fire.
I remember that was the first time, like, that was where you could hear a R&B record with rap verses that you never heard out before. Like, I think, like, K-Slay had one mixtape. And it's crazy that you could, it's like, yo, you will never be able to find, like, all of the mixtapes that he was coming out with. But he had this one mixtape, and I think that was how I first heard, it's Fantasia When I See You. But it's Remy Ma on there. Yeah. It's Jeezy on there, and it's BG on there. To this day, I listen to that song. To this day, I listen to it word for word. But it's like, K-Slay was bringing all of that. Like, Anne-Marie, she would come out and you would hear all the hip hop verses on there. I can't remember what song it was. I think it was a song with, like, her, Noise. I think even fucking Baby was on there. But it was just like, yo, K-Slay, like, son. That was like, what did he say? Hot fire. That's where you was going to hear that, okay?
Legendary.
That's where, like, you was going to hear, like, he would put a nigga song on there. You would not know who this nigga was. 3 weeks later, this nigga is the hottest nigga in the game. Like,
on God.
It was like he was just
he was a kingmaker.
Yeah,
and queenmaker.
It was just like they was like, you got the interview for Shade 45. I'm like, no, they didn't say Shade 45. They said you got the interview for K-Slay, and that was all I heard.
That's all you needed.
The whole time when you like, you was on Shade 45. I'm like, maybe that wasn't me. It couldn't have been me. It couldn't have. But then I'm like, hold up, with K-Slay? yes,
absolutely.
And it was just, that shit was crazy. Like, when I met him, and he was like, yo, you really the shit. Like, you really the shit. And he was like, I listened to some of your stuff. I looked at some of your stuff. He was like, son, tell your city, like, they got, like, yeah, you really that.
Tap in.
He was like, yo, you really nice. And it was just like, in that moment, I don't care if nobody think I was on no groupie shit. This nigga could rip you apart. Oh, God. And if you was from that era, you have seen him, like, rip niggas apart. No, like, mercy. Tell a nigga you trash.
No mercy, for sure.
So for a nigga to put his arm around me and tell me, like, son,
you nice?
You nice? Like, out of K-Slay mouth?
That's crazy.
Like, I was like, yeah, all right, I gotta keep going. He was like, yo, you gotta keep going. He was like, yo, just keep putting that work in. Keep putting that work in. Keep spitting that real shit. Keep spitting that pain.
For sure. I mean, you did keep going. You kept spitting that pain. 92Q Winterfest, I think, later that year. Mm-hmm. And, like, that's an arena now, right? Like, at that time, was that the biggest stage you've performed at? Like, or at least the biggest show you had did a performance for?
Yeah, I want to say
South by Southwest is later, right? That's
I'm trying to think which year I did South by Southwest. No, I think I did South by Southwest before that. I think I did South
Might have it out of order.
Yeah, I think I did South by Southwest before that. I'm trying to think when I did and didn't have hair. So, I think I might have did South by Southwest before.
I have it post December 2019. Like, I have it before April 2020, but after December 2019, because that was Winterfest in December 2019 at Royal Farms Arena.
I don't know what I did.
But you do a lot of stuff. Like,
but I'm not even gonna lie, I've done South by Southwest more than once.
Yeah.
I've done South by Southwest more than once.
Yep.
So one of the stages that I opened up for, that I did was I can't remember, but I remember Jeezy was coming.
Yeah.
I remember Jeezy was fucking coming, and
that's all that matters, right?
Son,
as long as Jeezy's pulling up.
One thing I like though, when you perform in front of, like, when you get to perform in front of, like, before a real motherfucker come on, like another motherfucker that spit that shit.
Yeah.
Just off of the shit that I was saying, because my sound was good and you could hear me clearly. They ain't really had to know my shit to fuck with it. And I could see them, like, I could hear the bitches in the crowd, like, yeah. What? Yeah.
Talk that shit.
So I'm just like, damn, like South by Southwest. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the shows at like at the arena. I definitely do, but it was like South by Southwest, that shit'll humble you, especially if you want to, like, if you on them big stages or you going to them stages where it's a couple motherfuckers at, and they giving new artists a chance. Mm-hmm. And that room pack, yeah, it's gonna humble you because you could be the hottest. You could be the hottest where you at. But now everybody here.
Right. And
everybody here. Like everybody here. And I think like at first I might have had like just one show every day of South by Southwest my first time going. Mm-hmm. By the time I did the first show, in that same day, it might be a promoter from another show that was there. Yeah. I probably got booked like 2 times in my first day. And it was going like that the next, like boom, the next day. Because I remember like right after that, I went to Paul Wall's set and he had everybody from Houston in there. Like everybody from, like, everybody. Yeah. And he was like, shit, you want to go on? He was like, shit, you hard. And then he was cool with somebody I work with. Yeah. She like, yo, this my girl. She's savage, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. He gave me the stage.
Time to go crazy.
And it was just like, there being a room full of motherfuckers that's, first off, I love Houston. Yeah, I love Houston. I love Louisiana. Houston. I love Dallas. Like, I love all of that shit. Absolutely. South by Southwest made me like Austin. They struck as a motherfucker. Yeah. But it definitely made me like Austin. But yeah. To be in that room and then like once they just heard how I talk, how deep my voice is, and that I was just saying some real shit. Yeah. They was definitely fucking with it. Like South by Southwest, every time I can't lie, like I never had a South by Southwest. And I
believe
hear
you.
Bad stories. I mean, I hear bad. Like I have heard some of the worst stories.
They harsh. They'll get on you if you ain't ready. If you ain't ready for real, if you ain't practiced, you ain't talented, if you ain't spitting hard enough, if you ain't stage presence, if you ain't, man.
One night, the core DJs, they had a stage. Mm-hmm. And it was a kid. He followed me too. But it was a kid, and he wasn't old enough to get in the club, and they was not trying to let him in. But he was on the list to perform. Yeah, they didn't know he was a kid though. I think whatever was going on, the time was just about to be 12 o'clock. Like it was like 6 minutes before 12. Yeah, and he was like, can I please, can I perform? Like I'm only going to do like half songs. I said no. You can perform it for me. You can do your whole set. Yeah. Yo, this kid was like so happy, so pumped, and it was crazy because I had the right time. I had the time where everybody had just got in there. Right. It was 12 o'clock, so everybody just getting in there. Yo, this kid was just so happy, but it was like, what was crazy was right after that, my performance was just perfect. I felt like, damn, that was my first performance of the night of South by Southwest. Yeah. And I was like, shit, my shit was perfect because I blessed Joe.
Yeah, on God.
God bless me because I blessed Joe.
That's hard.
So and he waited for me outside just to tell me, like, he was there, his mother was there. Yeah. He was like, thank you so much. Oh my God, like, thank you so much. They wasn't trying to let me perform. I'm not old enough to get into the club, but I'm on the list. I'm like, man, go ahead, do your thing, you feel me? I wish somebody would have pushed it. Like, I wish when I was like, you know, for a minute they wasn't applauding females at all, nowhere in the game. Yeah. Now it's heavy where it's a lot of females in the game. So that's why I was like, I wish I would have been going hard. Like I wish I would have been like, you know, believed in what I was doing. Yeah. It was crazy. Like I wish I would have been like just going this hard. Like when I was in college and shit at Grambling, I definitely was battle rapping. Definitely. It's crazy. I just ran into somebody who used to host the battles. I used to battle rap when I was out Vegas for Super Bowl weekend. Man, I wish like I would have even just stepped outside of battle rapping and like knew about making a record. Right. Like writing a hook, writing a verse. I wish. Yeah. That's why I'm like, son, just keep doing your thing. Like keep doing your thing.
No, for sure. I can see that too. Like you're like. the way you approach records, I can tell you'll be incredible at battle rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you mentioned people at South by Southwest loved like the quality of your voice. You know, and I actually want to bring that up too, because like I think like February 2021, like the I Got It video drops, and you like. You got an incredible rap voice, but you got an underrated singing voice. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I think people, like, when they mention you, they've mentioned things they like about you. They very seldom mention that you're actually a pretty good singer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think, to me, that speaks more to that versatility. That speaks more to, like, not being able to put you in a box. Because, like, there's now so many other records you can do just by singing. And you sound great on these records. You know what I mean? So I just want to take my hat off to you, give your flowers while you're sitting in front of me. Because not many people can pull stuff like that off. A lot of people are one-dimensional. And they can get put in that box. And they do. You know? Not you. Like, you're sort of withstanding the test of time and being able to do different records. Like, I want to say you keep going, like September 2021, Money Ain't a Thing, like the Who Do You Love joint, February 2023. Like, I love that record. Like, one of my favorite joints. Like,
and that's crazy. This week is like the 1 year anniversary of that record.
Shout out to Dave from the Wild Out Band too, by the way.
Yep, he sent me that beat.
Yeah. Man, no, for sure. I'm glad he sent that to you because it's a great pair. I think it's
don't even think I thought I was gonna like it, but the crazy thing was once I heard it, I heard that, and then I was like, I want to pair this with the Foxy Brown, Gotta Get You Home with Me. And that's why you could hear the and all of that type of shit in the background, because it's like, I heard it, I was like, damn, like, that shit was like how they do on Instagram, the mashups.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I noticed the LL Cool J Who Do You Love, but I definitely hear the Foxy and Blackstreet.
For sure.
I just kind of like took the beat. Then like once I got to fucking with the hook and all that, it's like I already come with the deep hard flow. And any like girly record I ever come on, like I always got to play shit like we gonna get that down pack in the studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't. The crazy thing is I'll have people that'll say like, we can find somebody to sing on the record for you and blah 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 blah.
Keep them. I can sing.
But the thing is, it just be like I want to push myself.
Sure, yeah.
I want to push myself to that. And the crazy thing is, the first person who kept telling me to sing was Gwen Hill, and he kept telling me like over and over and over. And I would be like, shut the fuck up. But one day he wasn't. Well, this was when we was in LA, and I was telling you like that shit pushed me to be the artist and be more of an artist.
Yeah,
is because I was surrounded by so many people that hated me when I was in LA. Like they did not like me at all. The people that I was working with in the studio, and it was just simply because they wanted to mold the female into the artist that they wanted to be. Like they didn't want me to write.
Right, yeah.
They wanted to write my records for me. And I was like, you're not doing that.
You know I do everything, right?
Like, you're not doing that. So it was just like, after that, I was like, all right. I kept just hearing like, yo, just try it, da-da-da-da. One day he came back in the studio and I had sung, I had did The Day You Make It. The first way. Like, the way that everybody else has heard it.
Yeah.
There is another version of The Day You Make It. The one that everybody like love and shit. That's the remake of it.
Yeah.
But he heard me. But all of the vocals, everything is the same. It's just the beat was different.
Yeah.
So it was like when he heard it, he like, yo, I told you. Da, da, da. So after that, I kept trying. Like I would just keep singing on it or on certain shit that I needed that girly feel on it. If I didn't feel like, it needed the Gwen Hill in, or I did a record with my homegirl Danny on came out with called No Lanes.
Yeah. Fire.
She's on there singing the hook. So all us were in the studio at that same time. So it was like if I didn't feel like, alright, I felt like I heard them on there. Yeah. And I would get in there until I got it, and then I'd be like, okay, I like how that sound. Yeah. And that just helped me more with you, like how to carry my tone, what I felt like sounded good, what I felt like didn't sound good, and all of that type of shit though just made me more of an artist. It made me like when I go in the studio, I tell people all the time that want to go in the studio with me, like, look, don't be a bitch, okay? Like, I don't know how else to say that.
That's so real, though.
Because I don't want to hang around yes men.
Yeah,
you
facts.
feel me? Like, you come in the studio with me, if that shit ain't, like, you feel like it's like, yo.
Yeah.
Unless it's like little dumbass shit. Like, don't be giving me your opinion like you me on no type of shit. Like, bitch, I don't want to do that. Like,
right,
no,
yeah.
But, like,
yeah.
I can hear, like, how I want you to be or, like, how I want shit to sound. Or I can tell somebody, like, everything that you sounding is hard, but it's dry. It sound like you reading off the paper.
Yeah.
Or you can do that read off the paper track, but in the background, I need you to do an animated track. Like, I need I need you to pump it up.
Yeah.
I could tell, like, Gwen.
Yeah.
I need you to stop singing like nice. Like, for Baltimore, I need you to sing like slavery.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to sing like you're about to cry.
Baltimore.
So before we talked, before he did the record, we talked and like we was like, yo, just about shit that we went through and shit in the city to the point like, yo, we was damn near in tears.
Yeah.
Okay, bitch, now get in the studio and sing. Yeah. Because this is what I need. Like, this is what, and he like, yo, I got you.
Yeah.
So it's like I can hear it, like even it, and I'm never gonna like bitch nobody craft or nothing. So
sure.
You can say it a certain way, and I'll be like, yo, what you said was hard, but like I'll tell the person like, yo, listen to this in the beat. Do you hear this part in the beat?
Oh God, yeah.
Fuck that up. Like, say what you said to this
over
part of the
this
beat.
Part, yeah.
You listen to this part of the beat right here. Now you rapping to that, and I ain't understand what the fuck you said. But there's another part in the beat that's going like this.
Yeah.
And I don't know the fucking correct words for that, because guess what? I'm not a fucking producer.
I think you are, though. Like, you might not know the terminology, sure, but like you understand what it takes to make a great record. Like, you understand like how to improve records when you're hearing them from somebody else's perspective, right? Like, I think that's an incredible talent. Like I said, like, you're not just a creative director in terms of the videos, but like also in the music, but also in the process and being able to help. You know, that's really what a producer is in my mind. You know, it's not just somebody who does the dials and the knobs and stuff on the program. It's more like how can I improve? How can I produce a great record? Like, you're producing something. And I think, you know, even keep it going to like, I think Damon Lamont, you know, who did the work record with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you off top knew that was going to be, like, you heard that beat and you was like, yeah, that's the one. Like, just having that taste level, you know, to know this is going to go crazy. Climbed up the college chart records, you know what I'm saying? Like that's still goes crazy, by the way. Still goes crazy. I bumped that right now. I actually want to play that after the show. But, like, just like, you heard that and you automatically knew it. Now that's a match made in heaven, right? Like, now, like, you know, you got the pack of beats and it was like, okay, yeah, now I can, because you can see something in a producer, an artist, you know, you have that eye. And I think that's difficult to attain. A lot of people are born with that. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't just develop that over time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, was that always the way for you? Like, could you always spot like the good parts in a song, the things to improve in a song?
I feel like I could, but I didn't know it.
It's untapped.
So even like sometimes now, like when I come up with a hook, it might be a part of my verse. It'll actually, like, it might be a part of my verse, but it'll be that part of my verse that's that catchy part. Okay. It'll be that part of my verse that I know that I can hear that over and over and over and over and over and over again.
For sure.
So I'll be like, all right, well, I ain't got 16 now. I gotta take this away. This is about to be the. I'm gonna build off of this, and this gonna be the hook. Yeah. But I'll hear it, so I'll be like, I just might keep saying it over and over and over, like the whole verse. But then when I hear that one part that I wrote, that's just, it flow perfect. It's in the pocket. Everything about it is just right. All right, I'm gonna slide it over, because more than likely, unless I already have the hook. Yeah. Because I'll hear a record and I can come up with I might just, I don't know, just be on some singy shit or just on some spitting shit, and I can. Yeah. It'll just end up coming together. So I think a lot of times before I actually knew how to make a record and knew like the process, I think I always knew this. I just didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. So like even now, I might remember a song that I've heard before or a song that I know, and I might like switch up the flow a little bit, add my own little flavor to it, and I'd be like, yo, would have been hard if they'd have.
Yeah.
I'll just get the thing off like that. I'll get, because I'm famous for getting in the booth and I will hear the song that I like. I'm hear the beat that I like, and I know how I want everything to flow, but I don't know the words I want to use. Because sometimes that shit like a puzzle. Like, spitting and making a record is different for me. So sometimes, like, when I'm trying to figure out how I want something to go, like, especially if for some reason I have certain days where I put a lot of thought process into a record. Yeah. Hate them days. But when I do that, I might go in the studio and I'll be like, especially if I feel like it's a beat I like and for some reason I just can't get my sauce out. Yeah. I will get on the mic and tell the engineer player and I'm in there like, but when I come back, everything that I've now I feel that shit in with words.
Right, you piece it together.
Now I didn't put it in like I didn't put a rhyme scheme into that. Like, so I don't know. It's just like I feel like I can't say like I don't remember a time where I was never like putting a puzzle together with my music. It's just now I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what I want the outcome to be.
100%. That's dope, man. Like, really notice it. Like, you do have a certain taste level for this music. And, you know, I think that's one thing I would love to hear you have 10, 15, 20 years from now. You know, just to keep that taste level and to keep, you know, that hunger for the best quality music. You know, because I think, you know, not many people can have that. And they can't just do it. They just got to try to get somebody else that's good at it and try to get them in the room because they can't do it themselves. And, you know. No diss to y'all, but that's just what it is. Right. You know, I mean, we keep going. Like, you know, we get up to now. Like, I think it was like December 2023. 2K Trey EP drops, right? And incredible EP. I know there's a lot that went into that. I know you work hard on all your music. You know what I'm saying? So tell me sort of that time of how that, you know, came out and some of the reaction you got from, you know, everybody that listened to it and, you know, the crowd that enjoys your music.
The crazy thing is I didn't really tell anybody that I was going to come out with 2K Trey, except for one person that I work with. And they fuck with me so hard, they was just like, fuck it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I got all the files for both of the Jacking for Beats that I did. And like the crazy thing is, 2K Trey is really not even like an EP. It's really like a wrap up. It was a wrap up for me. You feel me? Like, I feel like for a second, I kind of like took a step back from music. And then never fully. I feel like I've always dropped something. I always was putting out something. Yeah. But I definitely feel like I took a step back for a second. And then after, I came back in just hard as shit. And every time I came back hard as shit, I've never dropped a full project. I've always dropped singles. My only project that I have is No Lanes. Yep. I wanted to wrap up my year. Like basically everything that I did. And it's crazy because I still didn't even put everything on 2K Trey that I did that year. Yeah. But it was just like some of my favorite moments. Yeah, top picks. Like my favorite moments. Both Jacking for Beats just... both Jacking for Beats, I love them so fucking much because it's just like... My Jacking for Beats ain't they Jacking for Beats, you feel me?
That's a fact.
I definitely like...
That's a fact.
I remember like... I hit up... the first one I did when I was in LA. And the guy that produced Money Ain't a Thing, he put the beats together. And I loved it. But I was like, I need a DJ. And after that, I hit up DJ Reds for the second one.
Shout Violator.
Forever. DJ Reds mixed them together, put his Reds, all of that on there. So, those was really like my babies. They was my favorite ones because it ain't just one beat. I'm going 3 beats in every one. And then, I love the Hot Boys. Like, I love that era, from the clothes to the music, the style. Like, they was them niggas. Like, they was that.
Hell yeah.
And what's crazy is I feel like manifestation real, and I ain't never been one of them. Like, I always look at that word and all that shit like them stones bitches with them chakras and all that shit, the incense and all that. But
yeah,
it was crazy because I was like, yo, one day I'm gonna be doing music with these same motherfuckers I'm jacking for these beats with.
Facts.
I'm be doing like I'm gonna definitely like be doing it. So it's like, damn, this weekend, Super Bowl weekend, I go to do some work with BG.
Yeah.
And it was just like, when I looked at the picture, we took a picture as we was recording one of the visuals. When I looked at the picture, I'm like, son, this summer,
yeah,
I jacked the Hot Boys for a beat on both jacking for beat. Matter
you
of fact,
manifest that.
I think I did. I can't remember, but I know I did Project Chick.
Yeah.
My mother's birthday, I did a freestyle for her intro when it was Get Your Roll On.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did another Hot Boys beat in the beginning of the first Jacking for Beats. It was like, yo, I literally just said that these motherfuckers that I'm jacking for these beats,
I'm gonna do a record.
so I'm going to be working. Like, I'm going to be around the greats. I don't care about the hot right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be around the fucking legends, and I'm gonna get to work with them. So it was like, this weekend when that shit happened and I looked at that picture, I was like, son, I said this shit.
You manifested this to happen.
Like, I said this shit. You feel me? Like, I said this shit. Like, and I never look at nobody like, oh, this right here, this gonna make it my day. It just felt like, damn, like, you feel me? Like, just to be around, like, same nigga I used to look up to. Same motherfucker, you feel me? Like, we was at your concerts down there arenas.
Oh, God.
They was selling us the pictures like, we complain about how shit now. That was hard to spend a little $20 on a Hot Boys picture.
God.
All this shit like that, you know? But
oh, God.
It's just, that shit just, it felt good. Like, just seeing certain shit happen. Being able to, like, be in certain rooms and then it'd be like, damn. That shit coming, it is finally, it be feeling like, shit that I just, like, I ain't never think was gonna happen. I ain't gonna lie, like, a lot of people think I'm very confident and shit and a lot, but I always talk down on myself. And then, like, I always, but it's not in a bad way because it's just that you gotta push harder.
Sure,
like,
absolutely.
Ain't nobody, you feel me, if I fuck up, like, don't get me wrong. I got a team on my back. I got a mother on my back that got my back to the fullest, but it's just like, if I fuck up, I fuck up.
Absolutely, yeah.
It don't matter who there, like, to pick up the pieces. If I fuck up, I fuck up.
That's a fact, yeah.
And if I win, it don't feel good if I ain't put in the work.
Facts. No, 100%, man. I think, this kind of comes to where we wrap up because I was definitely going to mention the BG thing. Shout out to you. Shout out Super Bowl weekend. It looked real fun in Vegas. I didn't get a chance to go.
That's okay. Because guess what? Let me tell you how much I got off my plane this morning. My mother, she runs like a big ass nursing agency. Yeah. Had to go there check on that. My mother wasn't feeling good because she went with me. My mother, like, basically outside of my team, she handled everything. Like, because ain't nobody gonna look out for me harder than my mother.
Facts.
But she wasn't feeling good, so I had to go out there and make sure she was good. Cook for her. Yeah. Get my daughter together. Cook for her. And unpack, and in the same time pick my puppy up because my cousin been dog sitting him since I was gone. But at the whole time I'm like, yo, I gotta make this interview tonight.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, man. I heard you throw down too. I might, had to, do a little cook off. You know what I'm saying? Because I shove it up too. You know what I'm saying?
You cool? You cool?
I ain't got a catering business, but you
cool. I mean, if you did, you still cool. Like, listen, I didn't have to tell people like, I know your aunt with the big arms can cook, but she not fucking with me.
All right. I'm just telling you. Telling you. Hey, man, I think it's a challenge. Y'all heard it first. It's a challenge.
People make them little TikTok meals, them little lasagna rolls that marry me chicken, and they think they fucking with you. It's all right, but anyway, what's up?
Please. But I do gotta ask you, though. I mean, like you've done so much. Like, you've worked super hard to get there, and of course, it's just the beginning. You got so much ahead of you. You got just the tip of the iceberg, I think. like you linked up in ATL Just Cart, you know what I'm saying, like working, I think the Shine record. And you know
that's actually my cousin too.
Yeah. And like I know that there's so much more work that you're doing, and there's so many more things you're involved in. Can you tell me about sort of what the future holds, like for the next year and beyond? What can we expect from T Savage?
Just more music, more visuals, like more content, and God willing, more accomplishments.
Yeah.
I don't only want to be an artist. Like, I swear to God, like, when I get old, I want to be able to push my pen. Like, I want to be able to forever push my pen. I love to write.
Yeah.
Like, I love to write. The crazy thing is, because my mom, she's doing so much as far as like in TV with her story, they kind of start looking in their minds, and I really don't tell nobody. Like, I started writing my life when I probably in 2018 when I first moved to LA, just because when I went out there, I was doing some nothing. Like, I wasn't doing nothing, like no clubbing. Yeah. Like, if the party, like, my homegirl, she was a host out there. So if it wasn't like for me to get content and like just be looking like, but bitch, other than that, I'm going to work out. I'm taking my ass to the studio.
Oh God.
And I'm going to hike and I'm coming back home. Like, other than like small events and stuff that I had to do, I wasn't, never really on that type of time.
Yeah.
So I just, like the shit that I need to come is just more accomplishments, more wins. Like, so I always, like I said, I just want to always push my pen. Like, I always see me doing something in music. And I, like, at the end of it, I always want to help more people get into music. Yeah. Like, I feel like we got so many gatekeeping motherfuckers who don't want to let nobody else in. There's so many people that's in the industry that's from Baltimore, but they got a fuck Baltimore mentality. Yeah. And I do understand it. Yeah,
I've seen it a lot.
When you want to help a lot of artists and they rather be street niggas over musicians, that fucks the city name up.
Facts.
Real bad.
Facts.
It makes the people that sits at those tables, they look at us as a whole, we just want to stay stuck in that Baltimore City life. We don't want to leave outside of that Baltimore City life. So it's just like, the only people that can stand up for us is us. Yeah. So we got to get in those rooms. So it's like, more to come from me as an artist is just more me being an artist. More me being an artist. I just want to make more great records. Like, I want worldwide records. Like, I'm cool with the Baltimore. Like, don't get me wrong. This is my city. I love it. But hell yeah. I need my shit in Spain.
Facts. Facts. Like, Brazil.
Russia. I want my shit to be on the cruise ship that don't got free drinks. The one that make you buy the cup when you first get on there. I think it's like $100, and you gotta keep it your whole cruise. Yeah. I want my music to be like, once they do that, I want T Savage Shine to come on, and like the bad bitches putting on that drip. Right. Like, that's the type of shit that I want. Yeah. Like, I'm not thinking short term in music. Yeah. At all. So it's like, it's gonna work.
Facts. It's period. It's gonna absolutely work for you. You heard it first, man. T Savage is in the building. The legendary T Savage. Can you tell the audience one more time where they can follow you?
Y'all can follow me on everything at T Savage the one. He said it better than me, so y'all should have been listening. Cause he said it like, you can find T Savage, TSAVAGETHE number one.
Number one.
And don't get it twisted, man.
Y'all better tap in, man. And absolutely, I appreciate you for everything you do, all the hard work you put in, like all the man, like all the motion you got, like all the motion you're gonna get, the videos, the music, the like everything, the performances, everything. I appreciate all of it, and I gotta leave you with one sacred Baltimore proverb, and that is, keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely.
You keep doing what you're doing too.
I appreciate you.
Gotta be like, love you here.
Love you here. If you know, you know, man. Finally, man. Once again, it's your boy Mike on the mic from the Vibe Perspective Podcast. Tap on my guys at Ground 3 Radio, DJ OK, man. Calling at 443-377-1872. Again, their number is 443-377-1872. Leave a message about T Savage, one of her performances, one of your favorite videos, whatever, anything you like, man. The next interview is coming up soon, and keep it locked from Vibe Studios and Ground 3. Man, let's keep the vibe alive, man. Peace. We out of here, man. Let's get out of here.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl T Savage, and I'm at Ground 3 Radio, and you already know I'm rocking with Mike on the mic.